Preact's DocuSign solution for Dynamics 365. This will allow your users in Dynamics to submit DocuSign envelopes through the DocuSign platform, enable them to capture signatures from clients, customers, and have those signatures and certificates writing back to Dynamics 365. Let's take a closer look. So what we've done is within our Solutions Hub, which obviously you will have if we deploy the solution, we've given you the DocuSign connector, and you can see in here we can add this in, and we can add this to any entity, any table within Dynamics that you guys need to have this capability. For today's purpose, I've just added it to the quotes table, and you can see a couple of things in here that we can do. We can specify where the primary recipient's email field is going to come from. We've got some default descriptions we can have for the email sending, so the subject and description, and then obviously the reminder delays and the reminder frequencies and the expiry as well in here, which I'll come on to in a bit more detail when we go into the demo. A couple of things we can also then do as well over here under the documents area is say, do we want to store the signed documents? So does that need to come back into Dynamics, yes or no? Do we want to store the certificate, yes or no? And do we want to send and store supplemental documents? If we say yes to this, then we've got the option in here to then obviously view, accept, view and accept, view, read and accept as well. And it's as simple as adding in some documents, which you can see I've just added this PDF we've got about Preact down here as a supplemental document, and I can then pick and choose this when I send out my envelopes to say actually I include one of these. Really quite useful if you've got things like T's and C's they need to view and accept or read and things like that. You can add this into something that you're already sending out as well, maybe as part of the quote. So that's a bit of the admin side of things. And then what we've actually done, once that's been configured and set up, you'll see the Get Signatures button on that entity. So you can see I'm doing it on a quote. I've got a lovely quote over here. I've specified it to go out to the contact that I've got over here, the contact field. And all I have to do is click Get Signatures here. This will then show this little window. You can pop this out and make it bigger as well if you need to, just by clicking on the pop out, or make it smaller, entirely up to you. We've got the ability to attach a Word template. So if I was to pick a Word template in here, these are just normal out of the box Word templates that you would already have configured against this table. Once we pick in the template, you can see it will show us this, like a preview over here on the right hand side. Again, that one isn't great, so I might go, let's go with Preact quote, for example. As soon as you pick something, it gives you the little preview over here in terms of what this is going to look like and where this is going to send from. You can download it, you can print it, obviously you can zoom in and zoom out. It's really useful for your sales team to be able to see what they're sending before they send it. If we need to add any of those supplemental documents, you can see I can pick from those documents that you've already pre-uploaded, and you can pick as one or as many as you need to in here as well. Equally, if you didn't want to use a Word template, then you can add an attachment. So just to show you over here under the timeline, I've just added an attachment. You can see letter of engagement in here. There's a letter of engagement I've got against this, and a previous signed thing that I might have produced. I might have already produced a quote. And what it will do is it will look at all of those. So when you go record attachments, you can see it will show you any attachments that you've got stored against this. So I wanted to say use that, I could use that. For today's purpose, I'm just going to use the Word template, and I'm going to just pick one of those supplemental documents. Pop that out, make that bigger. We've then got the email section. So again, you can see those defaults are coming in. So if your admin team want to set a subject and a description like so, they can. Equally, you could come in here and you can type in your own value before you send this out if you need to. We've got the reminders. So this will send a reminder out after 5 days and then subsequently every day after, just to remind the person they still haven't signed this document. Again, you set the parameters and the default values for these. Same with the expiry. So we've got this to expire after 30 days, and obviously, we're sending some reminders as well within this. Again, once it's completely expired, it will just sort of go out and it just won't be there. You won't be sat in DocuSign or anything like that. It will just be changing the status to say it's now expired, and this quote is now no longer valid, basically. And then we've got the option down here of pulling in recipients. So this is obviously the primary recipient. You can see it's obviously order number 1, and it's going to go to Sandra, and she needs to sign. If I need other people to sign this, I can click External Recipients. If I click Show Related Only, which by default is set to yes, when I click on here, this will only show me people that work at the same organisation as Sandra. So in this scenario, John works there. If I unticked that, it would give you, are you sure? Yes. And then as soon as you click on here, this will now show you every single contact that you have in your database. Probably not very useful because you probably only want to send it to people within the same organisation. So again, I could pick John, and you can see here, what does John need to do? He might need to sign the document as well, and he might also need to, or he might need to receive a copy. If I pick needs to sign, then over here, if I was to send this out and click send now, down here, this would go for signature to both of these people at the same time. Whereas if I change this value to 2, what would happen is it would need to be signed by Sandra first, and then it would get sent to John because he's number 2, and he would then need to sign this. So again, you've got the option of saying what is the signing order and how many people. You can have as many people as you need in here. The same thing applies for internal recipients. I could easily just tick this to yes. I could then go and find, let's just say one of my colleagues, and do I need to get them to sign it, or do they just need to receive a copy equally? And the same thing applies over here. When does this go? If they receive a copy, it might be that I set this to 2. If I had John in here as number 2, then obviously Chris would then get the completed, signed version of this, because both people have done this. He then receives it at point number 2. So basically we can do all of this. I'm just going to get rid of this person, just so it makes it easier for this purpose. Once you're happy, you then just click send. Say, yeah, this is going to go out through DocuSign. Are you happy you want to submit an envelope? Click OK. That will now go away, and then you'll see it will say DocuSign envelope successfully sent. You can see that that's now in there as successfully sent. We can click OK on this. I'll just refresh this screen. You'll then see in here on the timeline against the thing that you've configured against the table, more so just for a reference, so your sales team or anyone picking this up can go, okay, oh, this is what we sent out, this is what we submitted, and you can see there's a timestamp. So at 10:57 this got sent out. If we click on the DocuSign envelopes area, we can see the DocuSign envelope itself, we can see the status, we can see the time it was sent, who it was sent by. If we click into this, obviously then you've got all of these fields over here to date. Exactly, it's basically been submitted, it's been sent to the client. Just come back off of this. What would then happen? Sandra, you can see, would then receive this. Receive it from whoever you've set this up, whichever service account you're sending this from. It's just going from my colleague currently. It'll say signature required. We click into it. Sandra can then review the documents like so. And you can see, yeah, this is now just DocuSign features. If I'd have had a text block, signature block in here, that would have pulled through equally. The end person might click and drag, and if they want to pick a signature or they want to draw something in here, they can click adopt and sign. But effectively, you can see we're capturing a signature on the form. If we'd have preset this, then this would have been wherever you need it to be, or you can allow the person to drop and drag it where they need to. And then you can see down here the supplemental documents. So because I've got this to say view, we can click view. The person can view that document that you've got attached, and then you can see here they can accept it. So we can see the status is now accepted. We can then click finish. They could review this later if they needed to. And that's it. So Sandra's now signed this, all done. She'll get an email into her inbox to say this is now, been completed. There you go, completed, and there's all the details. Equally, the person that sent this out would also get an email reminder about that. But if we flick back over here to Dynamics and I just give this a refresh, you can then see on the DocuSign envelopes here, the status is now delivered. And if we drill down into this envelope a bit further, we can see the time it was delivered, when it was delivered, who it was delivered by. And if we just look at the notes section, we've got all of the, the supplemental documents that were in there. We've got the PDF and we've got that certificate as well of completion, which comes back in from DocuSign. If I just show you what something like that would look like, just pop that open. That gives you everything that's happened. It's by this person, the carbon copy, timestamps, and everything that happened basically within this. Hopefully you can see how this can be useful and how DocuSign can hopefully work for you guys from Dynamics. So the DocuSign solution from Preact is just one of our many solutions from the Preact Solutions Hub. It's available as part of our all-inclusive managed service, Elevate 365, or through our dedicated Solutions 365 subscription. Please head over to our website to find out more information. And if you like this video, please give us a like. stay in touch for any future videos. Thank you.